right, welcome to this week's edition of the One Lane Road Podcast.
I threw you off there, didn't I?
You did.
I even told you and then pointed at you. It was still awkward for me.
It was all right.
I still made it awkward.
You didn't make it awkward. It's great.
It was great.
What are you doing this week?
What have I been doing this week? I've done nothing but build cattle feeders for the last week. I don't know. I worked a couple days, but I built a lot of cattle feeders.
So you're working on the farm here?
Yeah, in
Springs
and in Jackson County. But
yeah,
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then Wednesday again was building cattle feeders.
Well,
oh gosh,
man, fabrication and cattle feeder.
Cattle feeder. If you need a calf feeder, holler at your boy. I mean, because I can cut one out in a hurry. It takes a few minutes to go ahead and put that together, but I can cut it out in
no rush emergency.
No, there's not going to be any rushes happen.
Right. Did you correct me because I said rut?
I did.
Said rush.
I did. I had to say it again.
How'd I say it?
I don't know, but it wasn't right.
It wasn't right. I had a slip.
Yeah.
Slip of the tongue.
What you been doing?
Nothing, really.
You got this safety first Tutco shirt on.
I'm a company man, pretty much.
Through and through, ain't you?
Long time.
Mm-hmm.
Been there a long time.
Riding that tow motor around?
Do a little bit of everything there. Pretty well
You're a jack of all trades, ain't you?
I am.
Jack off of all trades.
Well, I can't really argue with that.
Yeah.
You know what I did today? I had a few extra minutes before I come down to your house. I just rode around and I just kind of took a scroll through Harmony Springs. I took an extra 45 seconds to make the loop.
Saying that took a while, huh?
I don't know. I've kind of got to the point in my life where I like to do that sometimes. I like to just ride around and look at stuff.
I made a loop the other day through town just to rekindle old.
I do that in a lot of different places. Harmony Springs is just, I don't know. I guess it's just a.
Let's get to something you said a while ago. Whenever you first got here, whenever you first pulled up, you said you was listening to the Joe Rogan and Shooter Jennings podcast.
Yeah.
The Shooter was on Joe Rogan yesterday. You said Joe's a weird cat. What was it about the?
I just find it myself. And I don't listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. I know you do, and I know Derek Rich does. I know a lot of people do. There are millions.
Yeah, there's millions of people.
I don't know. I just feel like this cat is so out there, and I know he's got his UFC deal he does, and he works out like crazy. And he's very well rounded, but I don't know. I listened to an hour of it.
Yeah.
I fast forwarded through his rambling at the start, and when Shooter started talking, we got on. I thought, all right, well, Shooter's new albums have been out, and let's do maybe a review. Let's talk about the track listing. That's
not what you'll get listening to Joe Rogan.
Where he was at mentally. No, They talked about aliens.
Yeah, I heard that. They got
conspiracy theories.
I say they got hard in the paint on that cat from Texas. That's in the news right now. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I know.
Big conspiracy.
Alex
Jones. Yeah.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, they went hard to paint on Alex Jones.
Did you listen to it also?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I just want, and they briefly touched on it, and Shooter even kind of give it a hint, like I think he wanted to talk.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "Oh yeah, hey man, I got my new album.
I do have an album coming out."
And he's like, last time I was on, Colonel, my manager John Hensley just said, "Hey man, you didn't mention the record one time."
Yeah.
And then he goes, "So it is out, Shooter." Yeah, man, that's blah, blah, blah. That's what I like talking about with you. But we also talk about a lot of other cool shit. And it's like, golly, man, the guy's got an album. Let's talk about it. But no, he talked about how much Sturgill Simpson and Blake Judd and everybody loved the Alien Covenant or Covenant.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what they were saying, what they were calling it. I don't even know what that is.
That's a movie.
I know that.
Yeah.
I mean, but
I've never watched it, but I just know it's a movie. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. When I get on here and I say, I love all these guys' music, but I don't think I can hang with them.
Right.
Because I can't talk about DMT and aliens and all that stuff. All the songs that are being wrote that I hate, that is our lifestyle down here. That's kind of our deal, what we grew up doing around here, and is riding around back roads and having beers. But so I guess I could relate to those guys in real life more so.
Right.
I don't know if me and Shooter could ride around talking about aliens.
Shooter's an odd cat.
He is.
And in real life, I don't think he's quite the, even something he was saying on the show there, he didn't appreciate country, didn't come into country when he was young. It took him a little while to get into it and what have you. I think country music is a very, very small part of his personality. You know, I don't know if I should say small. It's obviously a big part, but I think old Schuster's got some. He's got some odd things he likes to delve into.
Well, he's obsessed with Bitcoin. He was one of the first.
He's a Bitcoin miner.
Yeah, he's one of the big first advocates of that, and he's just different. I mean, he goes all these gaming. He said, "Yeah, I play at biker festivals and all these festivals," but he said, "I also play at gaming conventions and all these nerdy things that people get with," and that's cool. And I always have liked that. I read a couple good interviews when I was looking for reviews of his album, and he talks about that. Of course, I knew most of it. And that's what's frustrating too. I know we get passed over by many cool people because they look on our Twitter and we don't have any followers, and our YouTube
Right.
and our YouTube views are down.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you something. I know we could do just as good a justice on an interview with him.
Right, you did a lot better, a lot more justice to his album for sure.
For his album, for sure, and I get it. I mean, I know Adam's going to sit there and say, "Well, what's your reach?"
Yeah,
I get it. But how about if Shooter, who has a big reach, says, "Hey, I was on with these guys."
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to help us more. So,
Yeah.
but I also am going to bring that shit
Uh-huh.
that Joe Rogan don't know what he's talking about.
right.
You know,
Uh-huh.
Joe Rogan is one of the best podcasters in the game.
Mhm.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. He lives in Hollywood. Shooter lives in Hollywood. But when he's like, "Yeah, man, I did the country album thing, then I did Black Ribbons, and I had Stephen King." Holy shit, you had Stephen King on your? Well, that's everybody knows that. Everybody knows Stephen King narrated Black Ribbons,
Right.
and I mean, and Joe's
Now-
coming in.
Now they did. They were high as shit whenever they
Well,
were doing that too.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Shooter has a thing. I think I mentioned it. I probably mentioned it on our first episodes. If I didn't, I don't know. But Be Real from Cypress Hill,
Yeah.
he has a thing called the smoked something, and they're in a car basically, and you're smoking weed,
Yeah.
and it's just a parked vehicle on a set somewhere, and they're just smoking, telling
Uh-huh.
stories. And another, and which Shooter was, he's like, "Man, I'm so fucking high talking to you, because they're all in
Uh-huh.
this car." But the same thing with Be Real that Rogan done. It still comes around to Waylon Jennings,
Always.
and it drives me crazy.
Uh-huh.
He's done so much more than just being Waylon's son.
Right.
And he talked about that, and
Yeah.
when I talked about before, where I said he's kind of stayed away from that, I did find a really good piece of information I didn't really know. I knew he struggled with touring some, or he cut down touring like in 2010, 11, and 12.
Yeah.
But he said it's funny because he did all these country albums, then he did the Black Ribbons, and he said people quit coming. And it's funny because I talked so many people into coming to a show in Knoxville, and that's when Black Ribbons was coming out. And I was just sitting there going, "Sorry, guys."
Yeah.
Most time it's a badass performance, and he was doing all the stuff that was going to be on Black Ribbons.
Yeah.
So he talked about that. He said he about lost, kind of run out of funds almost.
Yeah.
Because he said, my dad always supported me, but once I started my own, it was kind of my own thing. And he, Waylon also passed away 3 years before his first album even come out. And then he said, so I really didn't tour a lot. And he said, then John Hensley suggested him get on the road with the Waymore band, Waylon's traveling band. So they got in a car for 4 or 5 years, and he got to build his brand back up.
Yeah.
But, with all that, I wish they would talk more about. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves, because he's kind of in between piece for a lot of people. You don't get Sturgill Simpson, Sturgill's on this big platform of being a huge superstar. Well, the connection with Sturgill with Dave Cobb doesn't happen unless Shooter goes, "God, Dave, this is a bad son of a bitch right here."
Mm-hmm.
And he put Sturgill in connection with Dave Cobb, and now Sturgill Simpson's a global phenomenon.
Right.
Saturday Night Live, the Grammys. That happened because Shooter put.
What do you think the difference in Sturgill is? I know what I think the difference in Sturgill and Shooter is, but what do you think the difference in Sturgill is that Shooter doesn't have that's made him so famous, so much more famous? Because you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
Shooter did bring him out, or help him, help his coming out or whatever. But Sturgill is gotten amazing as compared to where Shooter's went.
Well, Sturgill is a hell of a guitar player, as
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And Shooter will say he's not all that good of a guitarist. And Sturgill's got the voice that's so distinct,
Mm-hmm.
so rare of a voice. Shooter's, sometimes he gets a little on the screaming side. It's not as.
Yeah.
I mean, he can sing,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I do think when he hit that, and maybe it's just timing also.
Timing's got a lot to do with
Timing's got, because like Jason Eady was saying, the pendulum was swinging in the other direction now. And Shooter's been in the game for almost 15 years now, or 13 years. So what would your opinion on it be?
I think it's it's the detail that he puts, that Shooter puts into, or I'm sorry, that Sturgill puts into it. He's you can tell by the way the tracks are laid out, even on like Sailor's
Guide.
Sailor's Guide. That's a story.
Yeah, it's a concept album.
Yeah, it's a story, right? The whole thing's a story. And even when you go to Sturgill's show, every detail is almost perfect. Those guys were playing that show. That's probably the 100th time or more that they played that same show. But it was still, they were just playing the shit out of those instruments. Everything was perfect. It was all produced to a T. And I think it's that detail that he's paying attention to that Shooter's probably not paying that attention to. Because I don't think that Sturgill is, I'm not saying that he's a one-dimensional guy by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't think he's spending a lot of time mining Bitcoin. I don't think he's spending a lot of time doing all that other stuff. I think he's hyper-focused on his music, and I think he's just anytime that you're paying almost all of your attention to one thing, it's going to get a lot better.
It's true. That's a good point. Shooter does do. I mean, he does
a lot of stuff.
He does a lot of stuff.
And if anybody hasn't heard that Joe Rogan podcast with Shooter, I would suggest you go listen to it. I mean, it's it'll give you a different view of Shooter.
Yeah, I don't like it. I didn't like it.
You didn't care for it, did you?
I didn't, because I wanted to hear about. Not that I wanted to just be. I mean, I like that he's so all over the place. I do like it, but I wanted to hear about why he done the album and what went into thinking about why he was writing this song, and what was it that inspired Hank Williams Jr. theme, kind of, and the ones we listened to, that was like the Born to Boogie, and it really, after I read the review, it kind of reminds you, because Hank Jr. was, went on the road when I was 8 years old. By the time I turned 15, I was still on the show, and it's kind of like Shooter. He was play with the Guns N' Roses by the time I was 23, and he's name dropping, but it's not really name dropping as much as just like, this is my life.
Right.
Like, I am the son of country music royalty. But also, I made connections in L.A. when I moved from Nashville, and then I was at a bar one night, and holy shit, Axl Rose didn't show up. Hey, Shooter, you know Guns N' Roses songs? Are you friends with Doug? Oh, okay. Well, so Shooter jumps in and plays Guns N' Roses. That was on Napster years ago. You could download, or Livewire probably, some more. Okay. Well, who's one of your best friends in the music industry? Well, I bet it's Hank the Third, because Hank. No, not even close. Oh, Marilyn Manson's one of your best friends.
Yeah.
And that's a story I've told on this podcast so many times, where I'm backstage at the Shed, and I said, "Holy shit, you about lost me with Black Ribbons." I said, it got kind of dark and it got a little weird and all that. And he goes, "Well, yeah, I'm doing a disco album and Manson's on it." And I've told that. I mean, I know a lot of times, but if you want to understand the other side of Shooter that I already knew, but if you're interested in that kind of stuff, check out that Joe Rogan. But I mean, I don't think he gets enough credit for kind of the for doing that. For there it is right there. I'll be damned. 8 years ago. And a piano. You get Shooter on a piano, unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
But
there it is. How young is he there?
No beard. So he's probably...
No sunglasses either.
And he's trying to do the Axl moves. So that was 2002. He was probably 22. Well, he's 23 probably by the time he was 23.
He's not doing bad there either, is he?
He's talented, man.
So Axl just didn't show up that night?
Imagine that, right?
Yeah, imagine that. He's got a bunch of different stuff there.
So yeah, I would have liked to have heard. He's on another podcast that that's out there too. That is on this week. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's another LA. Like, he's a comedian. He's got several thousand followers, but I'm just, at this point, I'm tired of putting it out there on Twitter. Adam knows I want him, and I'd love to have him on there with us. And I'm telling you, I could do a hell of a lot better justice. There it is, right there. That
Rob Riggle.
no, he's on that show also. I don't know who the guy is that you said. That is the episode.
WTF? That's Mark Maron.
Yeah, that's
yeah. Mark Maron's got Mark Maron had President Obama. I mean, he's had a lot of guests.
Well, it's kind of funny because I knew I was like, damn it, I've emailed Adam numerous times. I've tweeted Shooter, and I'm like, oh, well, Mark Maron's going to get him. Who the hell is Mark Maron had? Oh, other than 500,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I was saying Mark Maron carried the largest, had the largest podcast in the world for a long, long time.
Well, other than that, what the hell you got going for you?
Yeah.
I bet he's never had Jeremy Mackey and James Hatcher on the podcast.
I guarantee you he's never had Jeremy Mackey on there.
It's a wonder Mackey hadn't went viral after some of our episodes with him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's I think he lost a lot of people when Black Ribbons and people just hadn't jumped back on.
Right.
But I don't think there's a lot of these guys without Shooter's influence. I mean, he helped a lot of these guys early on. Justin Wells, he produced Justin Wells, and that's another thing. I think he's just as happy on a mix board producing for those people.
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing a lot of work.
Now he did Sailor's Guide for Sturgill. Or was it the previous album? He produced one of those, didn't he?
No, I don't think Shooter had anything to do with any of Sturgill's. But now he's just.
I thought he produced one of his. Maybe it's just one of his songs or something.
Probably that. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But like I said, but there's no Sturgill.
Yeah.
Probably is prevalent in Nashville without that Dave Cobb connection, and that was Dave. Dave does everybody, Stapleton, Sturgill,
right?
A lot of big names. He done Shooter's first album, put the old back, and that's what pissed me off. Like, what's his name? Rogan was like, "Oh yeah, they put the old back." I'm like, God dang, it's 13 years ago.
Right?
Move on, get a new album.
Yeah.
But Joe Rogan is cool. I look forward to listening to Mark Maron's because I do know they talk about more music.
Yeah, Mark Maron's a good listen if anybody's listening. WTF with Mark Maron.
But
anyway, you said you'd sat in the yard out there for 5 or 10 minutes just listening, and then you said I didn't like it. Didn't care for it. Joe Rogan's a weird cat. And,
well, I mean, I know he is, but I mean, every time I don't subscribe to his podcast, but every time I see him tweet about somebody I think I'd be interested, I do listen to it. I'm thinking, okay, it's almost like with Hank 3 songs. I'm like, how many songs about suicide and pills and all that can you listen to? It's kind of like every time I listen to Joe Rogan, he's really talking about.
He's talking about pot again.
Pot and aliens and conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
But just about everybody I've ever listened to.
Oh, yeah. Or talking about UFC stuff.
Well, yeah, for sure that too. And I don't even know why I got talking about reminiscing about Hermitage Springs, but I tell you another thing I do. Is that incorrect? Because my phone tries to correct me every time I say everything I
don't think it's technically incorrect. I just think it's sloppy because I do it too. Like put 2 words right after another.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And I've read it. What was really weird is I tried to text it to somebody the other day, and I read back through it, and I didn't like it. So I went back and reworded it. But I've read two different books recently that had that in it. After I thought that, and it's apparently grammatically correct. I just I know that was
it is because I know the sentence I was trying to say. I knew it was right.
Right.
So my phone needs to back up a little bit.
Yeah. Speaking of Hermitage Springs, got a text this week from old Jessica McDuffie. I think we've talked about her once or twice on here, but she said it's good to hear. She said she forgot what it sounds like, what Hermitage Springs sounds like. You're so country.
Do you think you're that country?
I don't know. Apparently, I think it's I know it's gotten worse since I'm not paying attention to what I'm saying all the time like I used to be. So I know my accent's come back a little bit, and I'm not around as diverse of a group as I used to be. So I know it's coming back a little bit just because I'm not paying as much attention to it. It's something that I used to really think about. Yeah, because I was really thinking about what I was saying. Now, generally, whatever is on my mind, it just comes out. Speaking of which, I thought I was gonna make a woman cry today because I got her so flustered. I went to a store and I needed to get I needed to get some stuff, right? I was building.
Did you pay for the shit this
I did.
week?
I paid for it this time. Thank God. There was 2 people standing by the door. They probably heard about me and seen me coming. There's 2 people standing by the door.
Your damn mugshot or picture, your name's gonna be up on every store. Do not take.
So I walked up there to the counter, and I'm not paying any attention to what these 2 people are saying, but they started getting louder. She said sometimes you just got to worry about you. You can't worry about everybody else. You just worry about you and get your stuff right.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. I'm filling my check out. Right. I'm just writing away. She said, "Ain't that right? You just got to worry about you." I said, "Well, I don't know that." I'm just filling my check out. I said, "I don't know that I would agree with that. I think I would say that you may or may not. You may not have children. Then I would think that." I said, "But how much do I need to fill this check out for?" And I just ran on. She goes, I have 2 kids. I've got 2 kids at home." I said, "Okay. Just check them out anytime." And she said, "Well, I meant grown people. I meant adults. I meant grown people. I mean, I worry about my kids." I said, "I didn't mean to fluster you. You asked me a question. The first thing that came to mind is what popped out of my mouth. How much do I need to write this check out for?" She said, "Well, it's $40.39, but I meant grown people." She said, "Now what do you think?" I said, "Well, F them too is what I think." And I said, "Here's this check. Can I go ahead and get that receipt?" She said, Yeah, here you go."
What's wrong with us?
I don't know.
What's wrong with us?
And
I know I don't have a filter, but and I know yours comes and goes.
Yeah.
Most people would just say, "That's right, baby."
That's right, baby. Get them.
But then what'd you say?
Yeah. Well, I was walking out, and that girl, she said, she was telling me her story and this and that. I said, sometimes, she said, my daddy's had this, my daddy's had that, and this and that, and this and that he can't do for himself. I said, well, he made it this far. I said, I would suggest that you not let whoever you're talking about bleed you dry before you figure out that sometimes you just got to cut people completely loose. She said, huh. Well, maybe I'll learn that one of these days. I said, all right, have a good day. I'll see you later.
We've got family members that need to take that advice and let people quit bleeding them dry for years and years. Got real close families. Loves keeping people up. I had the similar thing. I didn't make anybody cry, but I had a guy look at me like I was a complete and total prick.
Yeah.
At work, I had to fill in for a guy. A buddy of mine had a wreck, so I'm up there filling in for him. This one guy, and he just talks and talks and talks. He's a nice guy. But I was flustered a little bit.
Right.
I was running around doing more than I normally do.
Yeah.
And he hit me with a, "Ain't that right, Dustin?" I said, "I don't know what you said. Honestly, I don't know if I give a shit." Then he looked, and he was like, looked at me, and I went, "God, that was a real prick thing to say." I said,
like, "Nah, I'm just kidding."
Yeah, and I come back and I said, "I'll just give you a hard time. I'll go, what's going on, man?" He goes, "Ain't nothing like a grandbaby." I said, "Hell, my kids ain't barely." I said, "I've just had my first one hit puberty. I don't know nothing about grandkids yet." And he said, "I said, you got to." I said, well, he said, "I just had my first grandbaby."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh man, oh congratulations!" I did feel like
I feel like an ass.
But at the time though,
yeah,
I hit him with it.
Laid it
and I meant it. And I did mean it. I still didn't care.
Yeah.
But now I was glad for when he talked about the grandbaby. I was like, "Well, good for you, buddy."
Yeah. Little kids, babies change everything. Even the thought of a little kid makes me happy. Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Look, Camden just, I used to think, man, I wish these people would shut up about their kids. I just can't. Why are they talking about their kids? Showing me these pictures. Hey, I don't give a shit whether you're interested or not. Whenever I'm talking about my kids, I'm gonna continue talking about Camden. Whenever somebody can turn around and walk off, and if I ain't done with my story yet, I'm just keep talking about it because I just so proud of that little fella.
I was tickled to see him last week. 'Cause most of the time I don't get to see him when we're leaving because they're getting ready for bed. So I was tickled to see him. Of course, he's just starting to talk now.
Yeah,
and
growing like a weed, talking, daddy.
That's kind of my opinion on social media stuff about Instagram and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't always put every picture that I ever post on like on Facebook because
right.
there's such a broad a broad audience. But on Instagram, I'll put like more pictures on Instagram because what else you can put on there? It's a picture-driven site. But my biography or bio or whatever that you call it on Instagram, it says I unapologetically post an annoying amount of photos of my kids, ball games, concerts, and sometimes my wife.
Right.
Because Lindsay will say, well, you never post anything of your wife.
Right.
So every now and then I'll put a picture of me and her and say, it was in the prenup that I have to put a picture of my wife every 4 months. But I do. I post a lot of pictures of my kids.
Yeah.
And even Instagram stories, Snapchat stories. If my kid's doing something funny, if Bayless is beating Waylon in the head with something, I'm recording it and I'll give you a 10-second video of it on my story.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, there's 3 options. Don't watch it. Wait 24 hours and it's going to be gone. Or hit that unfollow button. I promise you, I won't notice it probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Used to, I'd be like, well, son of a bitch, I follow him. Why ain't he following me back? Guess what? I'll unfollow him.
Yeah.
I don't care. And it's my kids. But now with concerts, and one cat one time told me, he was like, well, I didn't think you liked so-and-so. You sure posted enough videos the other night. I was like, hey, brother. I said, anybody judge you when you're showing 45-second clips of tricep dips at the gym? But I don't care you're doing that, so don't worry about me if I want to post 5 songs on my damn Snapchat story.
All right.
Okay?
I go back and forth in my head about social media. Not getting back on it. I go back and forth about comments. So there's something to be said about if you're not interested, there's no sense in you commenting. Why would you troll? And I get it. There's a very small group of people that do that stuff. It's not huge, right?
Uh-huh.
But if you're going to put it on there, then you're inviting, it's a social place, you're inviting some type of commentary. And
you are.
And if your commentary is negative, that doesn't make it any less valid. It's just different, right? So, but on the other side, I go back to just being, not wanting to be a shithead. If I don't have something nice to say, then I'm not going to say it at all, right?
Yeah.
So I go back to that too. But on the other side, people's commentary either way is still valid. They just might be a shithead when they're saying it.
Okay, which one bothers you more? The troll that'll say, oh, look, another picture of DK and his kids.
Right.
Or whatever may be.
Insert whatever.
Yeah, and or the guy that's behind your back saying, son of a, he's posting another picture. He must be full of it, blah, blah, blah.
Well, one I don't care about at all.
Behind the back stuff.
Yeah, I don't care about that at all. The other one, I really don't care about the other one either, but the other one, I at least respect their opinion. It's a social platform. They put it out there, and then it's for everybody to see. It ain't like they tried to hide it from anybody, unless they're an egg or unless they have a...
Yeah, then you're a chicken shit.
Yeah, but as far as... Even if you have a dissenting opinion, if you still put it out there, that's... If you say let everybody see it, well, I mean, at least I accept your opinion. I may not agree with it, but you're talking behind my back and...
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, kick rocks. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Like when I done the comedy, you're gonna have your people, if you're all on the stuff, like, oh, DK, you want to tell us a joke? Or you're so funny. You know? And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Then when we done this, and you have D-bags, and you're out somewhere, he's like, oh, what are you doing? You remembering this, and you put it on your podcast? At some point, depending on who you are, I'll either laugh and say, yeah, I hear you, or I'll still have you on my mind a year later and say, well, you're a douchebag.
Yeah, kick rocks.
You need to worry about a lot more than our podcast, I promise you, because I know your personal life.
You know who I felt bad, and I've thought about this a couple times, who I felt bad for at that time we went to Knoxville, and you did your open mic.
Mm-hmm.
What I did not realize was that like probably 60% of that audience was there for you.
Yeah.
And you alone, right? So there was a lot of people come up there.
Mm-hmm.
We're not necessarily comedy folk down in this area, right? There's not a lot comes to this area and what have you. So when we got there, we sat through God knows how many
17th of whatever.
Yeah, I say God knows how many people. And there's a couple of chuckles, couple things laugh. But there was a guy at the end, close to the end, he got up there and started telling jokes. He said, guys, I know this stuff is funny. I've been on Comedy Central. I know these jokes are funny. Y'all didn't come to laugh tonight or something. And I've thought about that a couple times, and he was right. We didn't come to see comedians. We come to see Dustin do comedy, So
Yeah.
I started thinking, man, I feel bad for those other comedians. They think they just bombed that night. When in all actuality, what happened is we come to see one person and we sat through everybody else because we were just being patient. We didn't get up and walk out,
I didn't sit. I was like Eminem on 8 Mile. I was in the bathroom trying to puke or something because I was so nervous. It was, and then but I did feel good. Some of those comedians, and you can look back at the video and give or take. I mean, I would take about 40 of the F-bombs out of there.
No,
but you know what?
They didn't record that one that we went to.
Yeah, they did.
Was it?
That's the one that I can't get down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That is the one. But a lot of the comedians are like, man, I've been doing this for 5 years. He's like, that could not have been the first time you were ever on stage. I said, yeah, I was with all my buddies.
Yeah.
I said, it's real stories. I said, you know why it's so easy to come out? I said, I thought it sucked. And, you have people that like it, some people that don't. And I think, you know what I think? 90% of people that don't like it's because it's GD and F this and
right.
and GD. And that was a different place and a different part of my life.
Right.
And when I get up there now, if I knew it wouldn't be recorded for Facebook, yeah.
Yeah,
but I would do it a lot less, more, probably 2 or 3 here and there, but it wouldn't be nothing like it was.
That's age too.
Oh,
right?
that's a lot of age, growing up.
Yeah. Well, being more comfortable with yourself, right? So
yeah.
A lot of people put and hunt and like and this and that as fillers, and some people drop F-bombs and GDs for fillers. I mean,
I don't.
Unfortunately, I drop F-bombs and GDs for fillers sometimes.
We do. Yeah. Still, and that's just. But those 3 stories I told was absolutely true. Pull in one place, don't pull out the other one.
Right.
I need to tell that again to our new audience one of these days. when it comes and goes. But there's a lot of that stuff, and those guys did make me feel good. But in the meantime, when you come home and you're like, you have people dogging you for it. Well, I promise you one thing: it's not easy. That wasn't an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
But like I said, when you put it out there. And people think you're funny, but then you put it out there, and maybe it's not as funny as people anticipate, or you're gonna have your people that don't like you. That you're putting yourself out there for.
Here's the other thing of that too is, let's say you got 20 comments, on YouTube, right? 10 of them were good, 7 of them that was all right, and you got 3 that are shitty, right?
Yeah,
that's 1.5% of your comments, or whatever
and
comes out there, and that's the one that you dwell on. Right?
Absolutely,
yeah.
And I see the
delete that one.
I see the most famous of famous people do that.
Yeah,
everybody will kiss their ass online, but that one person says your album sucks.
Yeah,
they'll troll the shit out of them.
Oh yeah,
on Twitter trying to get back at them. I tell you, the worst
5%
internet.
A while ago, by the way.
Our buddy William Russell's the worst internet troll ever. Like, I've had friends, like, there's people that grew up with William that have deleted him on Facebook or blocked him because they're like, why is he such a dick on Facebook? I'm like, he's enjoying it. I promise you. He's sitting at work on night shift with nothing else to do,
right. And
he is enjoying putting you through hell. I know James gets fighting mad about it because William argued. Sometimes William is valid, but no, William wanted to come. He wanted to bring that fight with me on a sports topic one time. I just shared a video of Jordan and put the GOAT emoji.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious as why is Michael Jordan the greatest? He's like, I watched Jordan. I'm like, William, I'm 4 years older than you. Jordan retired when I was 14 from the Bulls. Please tell me what you remember
about Jordan
without YouTube or without any other thing. Please tell me from 10 years old what in the do you remember about Michael Jordan? In all honesty. Right. And what's funny about William, when you get his ass, when you get him, you'll see it because I'm one person you want to F with when it comes to NBA stats.
Right.
And I ain't living on no revisionist history. I know my stats. I know all this stuff. I'll type some heat on you. I'm typing. By the time I get fired up, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, this ain't even a Shaq argument. I'm going ham, crazy on it. And you don't want to go there. So I'll throw 3 paragraphs on them.
Right.
Then you'll see William come back and retract. I said, hell no. Don't go back. Don't go back now. He'll put a 2-sentence argument in 2 or 3 sentences. Then you read back and I'm like, bitch, you didn't have that on there a while ago. You went back and Googled something. Now he's like, oh, he shot 5 of 18 from the field in Game 7. Blah, blah, blah. Hell no.
Uh-huh.
And William does know his sports. I'm just saying. But he will edit some stuff when you call him out. He will edit some stuff. And he's on Thad hard. And Thad's always like, what the hell have I done to William? I was like, I don't even know how y'all know each other, really. Like, we never even hung out, I didn't think. But I guess we did over in time. But he's always like, Thad's the bandwagon of bandwagoners. And blah, blah, blah. And Thad gets heated about it.
There's Thad that's twice in the reboot you've been commented on here.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got to – I'm going to say one thing before we get started back on Thad, before it slips my mind. I had a bunch of notes while I was building up, and I forgot. One thing I want to beg anybody to do, anybody's listening, please do this. Let's move on from putting people's vehicles on local sales network and Craigslist. Okay,
Somebody's put your new truck on.
It was William. I guarantee it was William. It's what made me think of it. And I apologize. I've already apologized because he said he didn't do it. I don't believe him.
Right.
Because William has a certain way. You know, when you read things, sometimes you know it's a certain person because of the way it's worded.
Right.
And it may not have been, but I put a picture of my truck washed on Instagram, and
somebody took that picture.
Yeah, and
posted it on LSN.
I'm sitting back cooking supper and
got that call.
Got the text.
Yeah.
Truck still for sale. I go immediately Craigslist.
Yeah.
And there my truck is. I'm like, well, that's my Instagram story for 3 hours ago. So I go to my story, swipe up, and I can see who all's viewed the picture.
Uh-huh.
I was like, William Russell. He says he didn't do it. Last year, I had a funny one that got done. And it was generic. We had a super cheap price. And it was just a thrown together one.
Yeah.
Now, whoever did this last one, look here. I'll give you credit before I say this, right? I'll give them credit. They put, Bieber tickets, unoriginal.
I'm sorry, I don't know what that.
Justin Bieber ticket. They said,
Bieber tickets. I'm sorry.
We'll sell for this amount. Let me preface this by saying, for anybody new listeners, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. About 8 or 9 years ago, I put Thad's Toyota Tacoma on local sales. The actual picture of his truck. 06, of course, he told me I had the year wrong, blah, blah, and I put, we've just been at Players Bar, shooting pool, drinking beers a few nights before. He's like, man, I really want a Dodge Diesel. I was like, what the hell are you going to do with a Dodge Diesel? I was like, you going to be like these little 18-year-old kids from Salina that don't haul nothing? Just want to blow black smoke. He's like, well, that black smoke is cool. But no, I just like the truck. And I was like, you ain't going to be hauling nothing. He's like, well, Brittany, that's his ex-girlfriend. He's like, Brittany likes it. I'm like, oh, that's cool, blah, blah, blah. And so I end up, we talked about a few more things that night or whatever. And so I put it on there on LSN. I say, my truck is for sale. Wife is pregnant with twins. OMG, yes, I said twins. Need bigger vehicle.
Uh-huh.
Would love a Dodge diesel truck. My wife loves the black smoke, blowing the black smoke. Or would trade for all these ridiculous, big vehicles. Family van, soccer mom, Astro van with a really good sound system.
Yeah.
All this stuff, and put Thad's number on it. He calls me at 10 o'clock. Some mother has put my truck on LSN, and he won't quit calling, he won't quit texting. Okay, so I'm the original of this.
Right.
Now, was I ever the original? I mean, like, of our group of friends, I was.
Right.
So these people has done this every few years to me.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And this last one, like I said, the last one was funny. It said, Justin Bieber tickets. That wasn't funny. I thought that was played out. But it said, buyer must be a fan of Shaquille O'Neal, as I have posters of Kazam all over my wall. And if you don't think he's the best center ever, I can't sell it to you.
Right.
I was like, okay.
That was funny. And
at this point, I troll myself about Shaq because everybody gives me so much crap about Shaq. I'll post something.
You 8 Mile it, right?
I'll post something on Facebook and be like, if you didn't think I was going to post a picture of me and my favorite player on his birthday, you got another thing coming, Jack. I troll myself to troll people that try to troll me about Shaq because I don't care.
Right.
I'm very unapologetic of my love of Shaquille O'Neal.
Uh-huh.
So I'm thinking, like, guys, it's almost come to a movie series at this point.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Yeah.
You watched all 3 Fridays? You've watched all 3 Fridays?
I haven't.
Say yes for the purpose of the story.
Yes, I have.
You've seen them all. Yeah. All funny.
Yeah.
Okay. But each time you go down, like, I'm Friday.
Right.
Okay. Unoriginal jack off that put my truck on there. You're Friday after next. Like, you're funny and it was good, but all in all, 5 years from now, nobody's going to remember it. 20 years from now, we're going to remember Friday.
Right.
And we're going to remember DK putting Thad's truck on there.
Right.
And that's how much I'm feeling myself right now. I'm talking third person when I'm talking about these jacks.
Uh-huh.
They need to quit putting,
uh-huh.
to come up with something new. It's not that hard, guys, to put up with something new. Look here. I was prank calling the dairy chef, Porky Shake when I was 4.5 years old. Okay? If you're 30 and can't come up with a solid prank by now, give it up.
Hey, I got a question about all the other Fridays. Was Chris Tucker in all of them?
No.
Was he in? He's just
in
the first
one.
I've seen the first one. Love the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know those other ones.
How did
they do it?
I'm Chris Tucker, and these other people are they're Cat Williams.
Is Cat Williams and the other two?
No, actually, one of them Friday After Next. No, you know who y'all are. Y'all impersonators. You want to be prank callers. Y'all remember the big black guy that's in the movie? Not Debo, but the Terry Crews. Terry Crews is gay in the last movie. And he's dancing to Tupac's "How Do You Want It." That's who they are. That's who y'all wannabes are. Yeah, Thad got some good love. He said, I appreciate the shout out.
Yeah.
And all it took was him growing up and not being Thad anymore. Basically, it's like he's not the same person I knew 5 years ago. Yeah. The only person I guarantee you ever went to Domer's little beer joint tavern, asked for bologna on bread and cheese, then had enough audacity to play Drops of Jupiter on the jukebox.
Well, I've got two questions about that. One, why did he think that was a good idea? And two, why is that on the jukebox at Domer's?
No.
I'm
just telling you. Why would you even go to that? Why would that be your go-to? Domer should have never had it on the jukebox.
Yeah, right. Domer, obviously. But
Domer didn't have anything to do with that. Somebody snuck it on Domer. But why would that be your go-to? Like, why would it not be Bubba Shot the Jukebox or anything Keith Whitley?
I mean, looking around Domer's, right?
Would that be an audience?
I mean, is that a trained audience? I don't think so.
Doubt it.
I doubt it.
Highly.
I mean, there's 3 people in there shooting pool.
Yeah.
Smoke everywhere. I mean, thick. Walls thick with it. There's the same pickle bologna that's been on the counter since the last time you was in there. You know,
that's true.
And I don't know. I just don't think that's a trained audience. That's a Leonard Skinner audience for sure. You know,
that's a Willie Nelson audience.
That's a Willie Nelson audience right there. I mean,
Drops at Jupiter.
Willie Nelson be in there.
Liable to be.
Willie Nelson liable to be in there. There might be some women in there that look a little bit like Willie Nelson sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen them. I've been there, seen them. But I don't know. That's not a trained audience.
That's a Thad move.
Yeah, that's a Thad move.
But he had yellow flip-flops on and white sunglasses.
I mean, I'm not...
Shout out Thad.
Shout out for Thad. I don't know Thad that much. We've hung out a few times.
Yeah.
I mean, just a couple times. I mean, I can see where people would think he's a douchebag. I can. I mean, I don't think he is. I'm not saying that I think he is.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not saying that I think he is, but just looking at him, I could see how people would think it.
What about it, Thad, that you think would
yellow flip-flops and white sunglasses and
I want to retract that. I've never seen Thad in a pair of yellow flip-flops, but I have seen James and Jimmy in some yellow flip-flops.
The same pair, though?
Well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
A lot of product.
Yeah, a lot of
hair product and yellow flip-flops.
Jimmy.
And that's when they walk.
I seen Jimmy the other day, and Jimmy's come a long way. He didn't have a drop of product in his hair.
Well, when you go bald, you don't have to have.
That's true.
He ain't went bald, though, has he?
No, he's got a
head full. Really?
Like a nice set of hair on him.
Hey, so bringing Thad up, the douche. I can't believe you'd call him a douchebag on our
I didn't.
Show. He's one of our. Thad is one of our best listeners.
The people are going to misconstrue it. I didn't. I'm saying I could see how other people would think that. I'm not saying that.
But by you saying you can see why people say Thad's a douche.
I didn't say I did.
Yeah, but you could see why.
I can see why. Other people would, and I've heard other people do it. But
Thad.
But I'm saying I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
But you could.
I could just.
You could definitely see why people.
I mean, I can see it.
I
I mean, a lot of product in somebody's hair. Let's talk about a lot of product in somebody's hair. Yellow flip-flops and white sunglasses. And a lot of product.
And Thad will throw a selfie at you. And everybody's throwing a selfie. I'm not saying I haven't.
Everybody's throwing some selfies. Duck face.
Generally, mine are with my kids. If I take selfies or my wife or somebody, I can't really know that many times I posted actual selfies.
I like the guy. Love Thad. No, I've seen him, known him for a long time.
But if there's a reason he can throw a selfie out, he will.
Yeah.
And
I've not seen him. I've had people show them to me from time to time. I've seen a duck face selfie, so I could see. I could see how people would construe it.
I definitely know he voted because he hit us with the I voted. The thumbs up. I voted.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying.
He voted in the county. He voted in the county where I guarantee he didn't even know who was running.
I'm just saying I can see it. I don't think it, but I can see it.
I think he's a great guy.
Great guy. Class act.
If I could pick a Johnson for my daughter to marry, it'd be Blake, and then there's that.
Yeah,
he could probably park cars at the wedding.
Yeah.
I'd let him park my car. I let him park cars.
Yeah, I'd probably clean it up for you.
I wouldn't let him be bartender because, you know, he'd have all your supply. But Thad, we love you.
Love you, Thad.
What about a little?
Next.
What about? Speaking of douchery, Mike DeMeza has a serious question on Facebook.
Mike DeMeza. Love Mike DeMeza.
He put a Facebook post on right before we started recording. Says, "Can I get a vote on something? All answers are welcome. Musicians and non-musicians. Is it douchey if you wear your own merchandise, hats, shirts, etc., out in public or to your shows? Go."
I have trouble wearing our shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I have trouble wearing it out because it's got my name on it.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't know if it's a douchebag thing to do or not. I don't know. I know I have trouble with it, but I mean, like in our case, I can wear it out. People go, "Hey, cool." I've heard that show. I could go, "Cool, did you like it?" They say, "Yeah." I say, "Cool, I did too." And just go on with it, right?
Yeah.
Mike DeMeza might be a different story. People might see him and actually know that he's wearing his own stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a lot cooler, like when Chris Raines sent me a picture from the spot.
Of somebody else wearing.
Yeah, and it was him and David Paul Scantlin, and he's like, "DK, where you at? Davo's got your shirt on. Chris designed the logo." I'm thinking, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Or somebody, even Randall Birdwell.
Mm-hmm.
Randy Birdwell, when he's wearing our shirt everywhere, he goes.
I would hate for somebody to take a picture of me wearing my own shirt.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like a lot of these comments to say koozies should be allowed. I think
koozies are fine.
I've drank a lot of cold beer out of our One Lane Road podcast koozies.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I feel like a hat is something.
A hat maybe.
But I think it's right there with the same deal as a shirt.
I don't know if it is or not. I mean,
Cole Swindell, a country singer, wore his own hat, a CS hat, to a award show, and I thought it's kind of a douche move. I think it kind of looked douchey. If I'm like, I like where all my musicians are at. You'll see, like the other day, Chris Hennessy had on a Cody Jinks shirt, and Cody Jinks had a Chris Hennessy shirt on.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, and Shooter wears a Cody Canada shirt, and Cody Canada wears a Shooter shirt. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I
don't know if it is or not, but I can't do it. I can't wear my own shirt.
Yeah. That I agree.
Yeah.
But that dang, somebody's got to wear them.
That's right. Somebody's got to wear ours. It's quite a bit different with ours than it is Mike's.
Yeah, because Mike is actually in front of a crowd, and performing is different than a podcast. And you know what? I think a lot of people don't wear our shirts anymore. The damn thing shrunk as soon as everybody watched them.
No, they didn't.
Oh, well,
everybody got bigger.
No, they shrunk. That was crappy material.
Mine really didn't. I still wear mine.
Really?
I mean, to bed and stuff. But I mean, I wear.
Yeah. I just think that they didn't give us the right material for those shirts. Yeah. And I probably should have raised a lot more hell about it when I picked them up.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day. My cousin Wesley. He said, "Who'd y'all get to do your stuff?" And I told him. I said, "We got them done here. Use anybody else because they didn't do a great job."
Not really, but that being said, I use them every year for other things, stuff. And they do great.
Yeah,
we do. I have the.
They didn't care anything about what they were doing for us. I don't think.
You'd only think we ordered how many? 50?
Yeah,
probably.
Right.
And extras. I wanted this. This is the material. I wanted this soft screen print stuff that you have to order up on.
Yeah.
Really, if you don't want your 265, 75, 16 Michelin hugging real hard if you're a guy like me. But anyway, yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. As far as that goes, before we get carried away, I wanted to give another little bit of shout out there. You brought up Jessica McDuffie, one of my favorite people in the entire world. And I got a funny message last night from the same graduating class of Jessica, our friend Cassie Scott.
Oh, Cassie.
And me and Cassie wasn't close in school, probably anything far from it. Looking back at it now, I really wished I would have been friends with Cassie in school because her sister I'm friends with, and she comes down to our four rides, and she has Titan season tickets. Put your phone on silent, kid.
Oh. Hickman did it.
That's a rookie mistake.
Rookie move.
Well, by God, don't answer Randy Cherry's phone call. We'll still be podcasting this time next week trying to finish the show.
Yeah, I'll just pause that one.
And
Cassie's quite a bit different now than what she was in school.
Well,
in high school, I didn't keep up with her in college much. You know, our circles crossed a few times when we were younger in college.
She come to some of our early parties there.
Yeah,
I think.
But in high school, she was so hyper focused on academics that that's just what she did. She was hyper focused on it. You know, she's she's quite a bit more laid back than that now. Not to say that she wasn't laid back then, but she was just hyper focused.
She was hyper focused, and I was hyper self absorbed in high school, probably. No.
Now her husband, I believe, I guess she would be an owner too, but her husband started a brewery with somebody.
I'll be dang.
Yeah.
Well, I see her post stuff, and like I said, she's always going to cool stuff, and I'm thinking, man,
yeah,
too bad. We're doing a lot of the same stuff now, and I think, man, Cassie's pretty cool. Anyway, she Facebook messaged me, said it's always fun when someone knows where Hermitage Springs is and immediately asks you if you know DK. And I promise you, when I hear things like that, I immediately cringe.
Uh-huh.
And not so much with
Wonder
Cassie.
what the follow-up is, right? What's the follow-up?
It's not so much because Cassie would be cooler, but I hate it when people in my work, especially people of importance, say, I ran into somebody that knew you. And I thought, I said, well, if it was like prior to 2000, to be honest here, 2017.
Go ahead and start making excuses before you even know the story.
One guy, one of our HR reps, come up to me one day and he said,
"Ooh, that's a bad one, right?" When HR comes up,
he was brand new, and I know everybody in HR pretty tight, but this guy was new. He goes, "DK." I thought, oh shit,
no,
because nobody at work calls me DK much, right. Not office wise. And I said, well, if you heard those two letters, there's probably a good chance I'm not that same person anymore. Okay? I said, I don't know that, but I just don't do it like I used to. And he started telling me the people, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Right there on that one. So
yeah, you're not going to crucify me for something that happened 15 years ago, surely. Yes, in this age, they will. They will do that. They will do that. As a matter of fact, I am going to.
So we've got your Facebook post here from 2007. Using some pretty choice words. We're gonna go ahead
I was.
We're going to let you go for that. Remember last week we were talking about. I never did even finish. The person was Sherilyn Prophet.
Oh, really?
They were at a small bar in Bowling Green.
Yeah. Going
to see Tyler Childers, which I was jealous of. I had a lot of. Blake Allen was several friends I seen going to Tyler Childers. The other half of my friends on social media that night were going to see Jamie Johnson at Brushy Mountain Penitentiary.
Yeah.
Which is cool as hell. But anyway, Sherilyn was the one that told her I'm from Tompkinsville. And she goes, well, do you know DK? Blah, blah, blah. And there you go. Sherilyn's always been a big-time listener. But,
you just saying something about last week we was talking about?
About kids and their age.
Yeah.
And how we are older. And
yeah.
And we made fun of the kid for saying, we forgot to say lit. Everything's lit now, I'm sure even in your... I'm sure even living in the cave
that I live in,
you live in, you've heard people say something's lit.
No, I actually haven't heard it recently. I did hear that before. Stuff used to be lit. That may be one that's turned around and come back.
No, I think. Are you talking about like somebody's hammered lit?
Yeah.
Everything's just like on. They'll say this is fire. They'll use the fire emoji, like lit, like fire emoji.
Oh.
I like educating you about hip young stuff.
Yeah.
But I did. There's one word that kind of buddies up with the same.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the Kardashian almost, the Kardashian syndrome. It's like, honestly, same. I forgot the honestly.
Yeah.
You got to throw in the honestly. And somebody said the other day, name a more iconic trio, and it was Courtney, Kim, and Chloe. And somebody was like, Shadow, Sassy, and what's the other dog?
I don't know.
Chance from Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
Easy. Shadow, Chance, and Sassy. I'm like, hell yeah, I love
Alvin, Simon, and Theodore's who I went with anybody. Yeah.
That's how, god dang, where our country's come to when the Kardashians are considered a...
Yeah, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. I can name you. I can do this all day. Yeah. More iconic trio.
Hell.
A group got famous because one of them had a sex tape on the internet, and they're iconic.
I'll give you Eddie, Freddie, and Betty Jean over that.
Yeah, all day long.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I'm not too proud to say that I tear up when I watch Homeward Bound because I'm such a tender-hearted. A lot of people don't know how tender-hearted I really am, and I love animals. And
You're emotional.
I just remember being that kid, man, lose my dogs.
Yeah, I'm cold-blooded in nature. That's Homeward Bound don't screw me up none.
Well, I tell you what, I watched that day and I cried.
I tell you what I will do though. I'll watch something a little scary. Honestly, same. There's something I'll watch something and have nightmares about it still. Like I'm a little kid. Like I'll go watch a scary movie. I'll have nightmares here in about 30 minutes, Jack. Whenever I'm laying in bed, I'll just start.
Bet.
Yeah. Kara's got to where Kara will just lay there. She'll just lay there real still, and then because I'll jump and jerk and throw punches and stuff, and then I'll just get a soft pat on the hip or a soft pat on the arm or something. Going, it's okay.
It's okay, honey.
It's okay. And then a few minutes later, I'm back asleep again. I seen Jack Nicholson in The Wolf the other day.
You're the only one.
Yeah. Hey, I seen his face all night long, Jack. In that first 30 minutes of me trying to fall asleep, he's waiting for me.
Yeah.
He was waiting for me. He was right there. He jumped out at me all the time. He's like, "Here's Johnny."
That's The Shining, isn't it?
Oh, the Shining is, but he was everywhere. As the wolf, man, he was jumping out at me. Nightmares all the time, man.
Well, I don't watch scary movies. I think our world's effed up enough.
I didn't watch them.
Oh.
I didn't watch it. I just seen a picture of him as the wolf somewhere.
That's my least favorite. I just think our world's so messed up. I don't watch Saw. I don't watch any of those weird horror, gory movies, man. I just don't.
The last one I watched was The Purge. Did you watch The Purge? There's been like 10 of them.
Yeah,
now.
I did. I've watched it.
I watched the first one. That was interesting.
The first one was good.
Yeah.
And now it's getting a little silly, like anything.
Anything that's got 17.
So I want to be a baller.
Shot caller, 20-inch blades on the impulse. How old is that?
Well, I found out today.
Yeah.
I found how old it is, and I found out how damn old I am.
Yeah.
Because this cat sits directly behind me. He goes, "Want to be a baller?" Shot. I said, 20-inch blades on the Impala? He goes, "What do you know about that?" I said, "What do you know about that?"
Yeah.
I said, "You had to be a kid when that came out." And he said, honestly, he said, "Yeah, man." I was like,
He said, "Bet."
He said, "Bet." He said, "I bet." Shoot, bet. And I said, "How old are you?" 24. I said, "Damn, you had to be 6, 7 years old when that come out." I said, "I was like a junior in high school when that come out." So I was 17. And the other kid, Paul, said, "Wait, so if you were 17 and he was just a kid, I bet I wasn't even born yet." And I said,
"You're funny, Paul."
maybe that truck should have hit you harder on the bicycle the other day. Anyway, but yeah, he was in diapers when and I'm working with him every day. Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
Then a girl sent me a message. Another girl that works there. We have a thing, and she sent me a private little chat thing and said, "I've always made that joke when we went to Florida last year and the sun didn't shine."
Yeah.
I said, Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow's going to see the damn sun before we do, because the one line, I hadn't seen the sun shine in 3 damn days, you know? So this girl was like, I forgot, and she said, your Kid Rock song is up here in the office. And I said, "What is that?" She goes, "The sunshine." I said, "That's Picture." I said, "You don't know that song?" She goes, "I mean, a little." And I said, "I guess you were a kid when it came out."
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, yep, just looked it up. I was 7 when it came out, or 8 or whatever."
Oh, God.
I was like, "Golly." I said, "I was in high school.
Yeah.
Listen, I had a mixtape, and it went from Little Troy to Kid Rock." I mean, that was the same era, same year, I think. I think Picture and I Want to Be a Baller was out in the same year.
Uncle Cracker was right there too.
God,
I pulled that out.
He better be glad Kid Rock was somebody.
Yeah.
Looking back at Uncle Cracker, forever indebted to Kid Rock.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's the Brutus Beefcake to Hulk Hogan.
My brother come out wearing a Kid Rock T-shirt the other day. I thought, man, I thought he was retired, but apparently Curtis has been to a concert of his in the
Kid
last
Rock,
couple of years.
I went to 2 in the last 12 months. What are you talking about?
Really?
I've been to the Fish Fry and listened to Clint Fraley. I went to the Fish Fry. Oh, it was hilarious. I got to tell you this. And Fraley don't like being mentioned. Like Clint Fraley, I'll write a book.
He don't
one day.
like being mentioned on this show at all.
No, and he gets nervous every time Jason's like, "Oh, DK and Lucas talked about you."
Why'd they say?
Clint will text me and be like, I heard I made the show, and I was like, "Yeah." He goes, he said, "What'd you say?" I was like, "Nothing bad, just listen." He goes, "Nah, tell me what minute marker I'm at." Bitch, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Listen to your name.
Yeah.
So we go to the Fish Fry. Typical Clint Fraley style. So this is why you're worried about we ain't going to have content. And we're still sitting there talking. And so we're talking, me and Clint talking about taking Brandy and Lindsay, like all 4 of us doing this Fish Fry, like doing a tradition, blah, blah. Well, he ends up going the Friday night with just him and Brandy because we couldn't go. And then he texted me all day Saturday, "Best effing concert I've been to in 10 years, blah, blah, best, great." He said, "We need to go." Well, Lindsay said, "Yeah, let's go." We were looking for tickets all day. Long story short, we didn't get any, so I'm thinking, okay, my night's over. I'm good. And Clint's just like, "Nah, I ain't found nothing." I'm sitting on the couch in ball shorts. 5 o'clock. "Hey, I'm getting in the shower. Meet you at Whitleyville at 20 after 5. I said, "We have tickets now. We'll figure it out."
Oh yeah.
So I meet him 5:30, and we go fly down there. Miss Wheeler Walker Jr. and Gretchen Wilson opening up for him. And we get in there. I'm like, "What do we got?" He's like, "Grass seats." We pass, the grass seats are up on a hillside, kind of, at
I don't know where the Fish Fry is at. I don't know.
Carl Blackwood Chevrolet used to be the Fontanelle
down
there.
Yeah.
So we're walking. I'm like, "Dude, Yeah, we're not standing back here. Don't worry. So they have like a little thing by the bar, which is the very back, and it's got little rails there. I was like, dude, I can't see nothing. And he said, yeah, we're not gonna be here long. He's like, as soon as this guy right here turns his back, we're leaving. Sure enough, this girl's like, this is not gonna cut it. And I went, we're like 200 yards from the stage. I said, you can stand on my shoulders and you're still not going to see nothing.
All right.
And about that time, I'm in mid-sentence arguing with this girl, and Clint busts a move through them 2 little rails. I'm catching up, and we end up getting like 100 feet from the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a great show. I mean, Clint's like,
hey, if Clint Fraley says it's a good show, that cat's seen some music.
He's seen some stuff,
yeah.
Man. Clint, well, let me finish this first before I say it. But he said, of course, he gets it. He's like, this better not be the same show I seen last night. I was like, I'm guaranteed it's going to be the same show.
Yeah.
He's like, this is bullshit. He's like, this is the same stuff, blah, blah, blah. He's telling me verbatim what was going to be said next. Well, I win tickets in January and go back to Bridgestone and see it. I'm telling Lindsay, I was like, hopefully it's ain't going to be the same show. And it was I was the Clinton Fraley role that night.
That's that the comedian trick, right? You keep doing it until you get good at it, and then you bust it out the big show, right?
Apparently.
Yeah.
I just said the name I hadn't heard of in a while.
I didn't hear it.
Gretchen Wilson opened.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A little string of bad news for her lately.
Yeah, what happened to her?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I thought you told me something about her.
Well, she got arrested, but I thought you had some more on it. Let's look it up. Country singer Gretchen Wilson arrested after disturbance on flight. Ooh, she is not looking good here either.
Well, she ain't never been no high-class broad. She's really a product of her raising.
She says, hell yeah, and yeehaw. She was arrested Tuesday night at the Connecticut airport after she caused a minor disturbance on a flight and became belligerent towards troopers, police said. I can believe that. I can look at that picture right there and say that she's belligerent.
That right there?
Yeah. She looks hammered right there. They picked the worst picture of her possible.
Or what? That's a mugshot.
I know.
You don't get to pick your mugshots.
That surely.
No. That you can't pick your mugshots. I look at Upper Cumberland Reporter religiously every Tuesday.
They wouldn't have taken that one for a mugshot, surely. She didn't even have her eyes open.
Dude, seriously. UpperCumberlandReporter.com. There's 15 better than that in Putnam County every week.
Huh.
I wonder if she was drinking champagne or just chugging beer all night.
You got me all choked up on that one.
Now I've heard.
Oh, she looks rough.
Well, I can see. A
source told the gossip site that Wilson, 45, got into a shoving match with another passenger after they exchanged words over using the airplane bathroom. Classy lady. The country singer reportedly waited. Hold on, too. Country singer. She's not sung a song in years. Reportedly waited, knocked on the door of the bathroom before the incident. Wilson and the passenger continued to exchange threatening hand gestures for the rest of the 80-minute flight. You can't take somebody flipping somebody else off. When the singer got off the plane, she encountered the cops waiting for her and demanded them to arrest her for flipping somebody off. While interviewing the accused on the jetway, Wilson, became belligerent towards the troopers and caused a disturbance. Wilson was taken into custody and charged with a breach of peace. Her bail was set at $1,000, and she expected to appear in court Wednesday.
$1,000?
I mean, it's been right here. She rose to fame in 2004. It's been 14 years since she had a hit on the radio.
I can see her getting drunk in a tavern or in a honky tonk or maybe a 4-wheel drive tailgate. But drunk on a plane, let's leave that to Dirks Bentley. Come on, Gretchen.
Ugh, poor old Gretchen Wilson. I hadn't heard from her in years. She did not. She did not age.
She didn't age well, did she?
She did not age gracefully.
Let's be honest, though. When she was out in 2004, she wasn't exactly in the Julie Roberts, Sarah Evans School of Beauty. I mean,
That's true.
She was. I mean, like
14 years ago, she was our age.
Now,
yeah, our age now.
She's 45. Yeah, now. So, oh,
she was younger than we are now.
Yeah, that's what sucks.
Yeah, she didn't get famous till she was quite a bit older.
Do you know the positivity, Mr. Positive of the Week goes to you, Mr. Randall Mann, in the Cookeville Hospital elevator with your old school Titans jersey on.
Yeah.
Yes or no, elevators are the most single, awkward place in the world.
They can be, depending on who your partner is, right?
No, I think I'm one of the most social people I've ever met.
That's a problem though in an elevator.
I get weird in the elevator.
Yeah, that is weird. It's trying to be sociable.
I don't though. I don't even say nothing.
In an elevator,
I get weird. Yeah,
that's a problem.
I shut off. I'm just like, where are you going? Which one? I do. People. It's like they're expecting to get farted on the whole time, or groped, or It's just something. There's just weird vibes in the air.
Yeah.
And anyway, so he's standing there, and of course the Titans just went through the uniform change, right?
Yeah.
And I say, well, better get you another jersey there, buddy. I said, you're a little outdated. Well, I just tell you what, if they don't do no better than what they've been doing, I'm done with them.
Oh, yeah?
And I said, and I'm thinking, okay, he's mad because we got some, I don't know. Okay. I said, what do you mean? He goes, did you watch that game last night? They had a game last night. I said, I watched part of it, yeah. He goes, they can't do better than that. They couldn't do nothing. I said, well, it's preseason. He said, they couldn't do nothing. If they're going to look like that, then I don't want to watch them. I was like,
that's not their starters, though, is it? Or their main guys?
Like the two series, the starters were out there. He watched a game. 90% of the snaps were second and third string guys, and guys going to be playing the Canadian Football League in 2 weeks.
Right.
And I'm sitting there thinking, well, he goes, no, I'm done with them. I'm looking at our schedule.
A little early.
We start off the season against Miami, which should be a win. Then we play the Jaguars and Texans and Eagles, Super Bowl champions and 2 division rivals. There's a realistic chance we're going to be 1-3 after 4 weeks.
Right.
And I guarantee you, he's not a fan of African American men raising their fists in the air at a protest. So let us go 1-3, and these brothers holding their fist up.
Yeah.
Oh, this dude, nah,
he'll be done with it.
He will officially be done.
Jersey will be gone.
I just thought. Lindsay looked at me and said, "Golly, who pissing his Cheerios?" I was like, "Yeah, if you can sense the negativity, it's another level."
That cat was on a different level then. Yeah.
I just tell you.
That's
funny. Do you think we better call the guy we stood up? We ain't gonna have time.
We ain't gonna have time tonight, man. We're already 1 hour and 10 in, and it's 20 after 8. We're gonna have to stand him up again. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's call him. Let's give him a call.
See if he'll answer us. Maybe past his bedtime. I texted him 2 hours ago.
Yeah, so we're about to call you, and then
it's not doing anything.
We went on a rant.
I have the wrong one in. Right one. There it is. Just took a minute to ring on my end.
We'll see if we can't get him here. Technical difficulties be damned.
Help if my headphones are up, I guess.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Sharing
is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey, Shane Keith. This is Dustin and Lucas from the One Lane Road podcast.
Hi, Shane.
So, why didn't you answer?
Hey, what are you doing today, Shane? We're just sitting here. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff today.
Here he is. Here he is.
Shane Keith.
Hello, and welcome to the One Lane Road podcast.
You're on the air with Dustin and Lucas. How can we help you today?
What are you guys up to?
Well, we was actually just leaving you a voicemail.
Sorry, sir. We was looking for the 5th caller, and you're the third.
You're the third.
Call back and try again.
Good to hear from you. Hope everything works out for you. Get that VD checked out.
It could be worse. I said, that's a shame. I said, that's 2 weeks in a row I've missed the phone call.
We were sitting here worried about whether we was going to have anything to talk about. And whenever we looked up the first time, we was about 45 minutes in. I thought, well, that didn't change much.
Well, just to fill you guys in on the last 12 months, we've just been working like a barred mule and paying the bills and enjoying life and had a good time at the lake this summer. We missed you guys at NCDK up there. He usually strolls through once or twice, but
you've seen me once.
Not at the lake this year.
Yeah, me and Brad Craig had come over to your boat.
Well, we were at the lake. So.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll take that.
He said you may have been there, but I may not have been.
Hey, just to give a little inside info, we pick. I'm going to ask you guys, since y'all are the sports experts, we pick football teams at work every year. What's the hot pick right now?
Hey, hold on. Let me ask Dustin real quick so I can answer this. Hey, what game is it that uses the football?
You talking about NFL? It uses the football.
Yeah, we pick teams for the whole year. So you pick the team, you got them for the year. The one that goes farthest wins.
Damn, who paid the extra $50 in the pot to get the Patriots?
Well, I got them last year. Actually, if I had won the year before, believe it or not, Crystal picks my teams every year for me. I won 3 years in a row, and if I had won year before last, I was going to take that money and buy me a ring.
Buy you what?
A ring.
Oh,
a ring. Who's the hot pick this year? What do you guys think?
The Eagles got better after they won the Super Bowl, and they're Patriots. You can't ever count the Patriots out, but the Eagles got better. The Vikings have improved. The Rams are a hot pick.
What team does LeBron James play for? I'd bet on that team. Whatever team that is. Yeah, that's it.
I'd say, well, I mean, if you can't get the Patriots, because, I mean, I think the Patriots have took a couple hits here lately. They've lost some players. And
we're just looking at they've gotten rid of one of their
yeah, but he was just kind of a role player receiver. They got rid of Kenny Britt. He had one good year here for the Titans, and he's just kind of struggled ever since. But
he's a monster, though.
They've lost some players. The Patriots have, and I mean, Tom Brady's probably the best quarterback maybe ever. I know Peyton Manning fans don't want to hear that, but God dang, Father Time always catches up to everybody. So you got to wonder eventually when Brady's time is going to run out. But
it don't look like it anytime soon. I mean, he's already testing helmets out for next year. So they had him out there. He's not looking like he's going to play or not play in 2019.
I seen a funny headline the other day, and I just laughed at it. It said Tom Brady has a notion why people don't like him. I didn't have to read the article. It's because you're rich, good looking, married to a supermodel, and have 5 Super Bowls, and everybody in the South hates you because you probably are better than Peyton Manning. That's why. And you wear women's boots.
Why is it that people down us good looking people?
I've always struggled that myself.
It's because we just can't be there. We just can't do it.
DK struggles with that every day, I know.
Yeah, hating on good-looking people.
I beat out 3 other people in 2002 to win most attractive in my high school that had 45 people, and they spray painted stuff about me on the damn watershed wall at Pine Lick ever since.
Not to change the subject, Lucas, how's the dad thing going?
Hey, there's going to be a contest about it after the end of the year, and I'm probably going to win it. I'm probably the best that's ever happened. I'm pretty good at it.
He is so good of a father that they've already got a little charm made for a gold necklace. It's going to say number 1 dad on it.
Number 1 dad.
He's already got the coffee mug.
I can hear him.
Are they going to write a parenting book based on Lucas?
No. I've recoiled into myself, into my cave here, so I don't let anybody else in. I don't let anybody know how I do it. I just, whenever we get out into the world, I just tell them, say, hey, be careful, calm down. Let's act like we know something.
Also know.
Oh, my God. I can hear him upstairs right now. He just walked in from church, man. I love it.
It is. It's awesome.
Like Sturgill Simpson said, I wished I'd done this 10 years ago, but how could I know? How could I know?
Yeah, we came out to see the grandboys tonight, and I tell you what, you guys think you love your children. Just wait till you get some grandbabies, man. You talking about spoiled and see their eyes light up, and it's something else. I tell you, I love it.
Yeah,
love it.
That's what my dad says. He said y'all were fun. He said, but boy, grandkids are a lot more fun.
They definitely are. So what's going on in the big North Springs, DK?
Nothing. Dustin's here in HS, so there's literally nothing going on in North Springs right now.
Nothing in North Springs.
Well, I got to sit with my grandpa the other day. I got to sit with Barry, and he gave me the rundown of how busy North Springs was in the 50s. There was car dealerships in North Springs and 4 or 5 mills and 4 or 5 stores. Of course, when me and you was growing up, Shane, it was just the Head Start and the two stores. Daddy had a store, and then Ward Kemp had the store, and then they had the garage up there and the Head Start. That was it. But man, you imagine being in the 50s and 60s and that had damn car dealerships.
I'd love it.
Yeah,
me too, man.
I'll be back home one day. I don't know when it'll be, but I'll be back home one day.
Bring a car dealership with you when you come.
What about the Rick? What's the Rick been up to?
He was in the hospital. He just got out of the hospital yesterday.
Well,
he's still living. That's a good sign. But my grandpa, when Barry,
he's out there showing his old lady how to mow the yard the other day when we come through.
Yeah,
missed the spot.
Charged her for the gas she used after that.
He said, "This is a damn store out here."
My grandpa, Barry, he was in the hospital there for 9 days back last month. He went in with a kidney stone and turned into pneumonia and ended up with being septic. And then my dad went into a little shock there Saturday night. I went down there and Linda called and said he couldn't catch his breath and he was freezing to death. And they ended up taking him in the ambulance and he was in the hospital for 3 or 4 days there.
Well, let me tell you guys, I had a kidney stone about 4 years ago, and on the way to the hospital, I was calling Lee Garrett Richardson to write my will out because I didn't know what was wrong with me, and I swore to God I was dying.
Yeah.
And if my wife had not been working that night, I crawled in the ER on all fours.
Mm.
And if she had not been working, I really believed that I was going to die. I mean, I really thought that I was absolutely dying.
They say it's the worst pain ever.
My dad had one.
Worst pain ever.
I remember my dad having one just sitting on the couch. He was just sitting there. And then started slowly leaning forward, going, oh. Next thing you know, he was on the floor on all fours going, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Golly.
There's two things you don't want. You don't want kidney stones and you don't want hemorrhoid surgery. You do not want those two things. Trust me, guys. I'm a little older than you. And that is two things in life that you do not want. I think I'd rather go to jail for public exposures to have a kidney stone or a hemorrhoid surgery again.
They both sound awful.
I probably had herpes that list. Ain't nobody trying to catch that for life either.
That or the bullheaded clap one.
Yeah, you can take a hammer. You can take a hammer and knock that stuff out though. Herpes is for life.
Yeah, they can tell you all about that.
We might cut that part out. We might cut.
Can tell you all about that. Yeah. Yeah, y'all need to call him one night and have him tell you the bullheaded clap story. And for everybody out there that's listening that don't know, just Google that and you'll understand.
We're gonna cut his name out of that, but we're gonna leave that story in.
Yeah, we'll leave the story, but that name will not be.
That name will not be given.
Yeah, that name will stay out.
Hey, well, I'm just glad he just had the bullheaded clap because you said it when I said herpes. I thought the boy had a strawberry patch in his crotch for life. Oh boy!
Hey boys, it's been good. I'm gonna have to get over here to these grandbabies. We're getting ready to load up and go home. We just got done eating a big steak, and I appreciate y'all calling. I miss y'all, and I'm glad y'all back on.
Hey, we'll do it again soon.
Y'all give me a call. You got my number, and One Leg Road Podcast, baby.
Woo woo!
There it was, people. That was Shane Keith. Good call.
Thank you, bro.
All right, everybody. Well,
I ain't seeing nothing about that. Thank God.
I don't want to see any. There's some nasty stuff.
You do want to see it? But you're Googling.
Yeah, I'm turning it off right now, though. I don't want it. All right.
Oh my goodness! And shout out Doug Martin from Fastenal, my boy from Cookville that's listening to our show once again, loving it, listening to it on the road. And
so the sports betting is the negative number means that whenever that's the one that's not gonna win. Is that it?
I don't know.
Wait, I don't know. Is that the positive ones mean he's not gonna win? Is that what it is?
I'll just go ahead and tell
Doug
you.
Martin don't
Doug
like this part.
What's the over-under mean again?
Yeah.
Doug just pretty much told us we're blooming idiots and never to talk about sports bets until we do our research again. He said, I'm screaming at my phone trying to get y'all to realize what y'all were saying. But sorry for partying, man. I don't know what it means.
I don't bet on anything.
I know what the over-under means. I know what the line is. Now, after that, I don't know what
I'm going to bet the line.
The plus and minus, I don't know what that means.
I don't know how to do it.
I want you to educate us, Doug.
Yep.
And let me tell you something. You ever call on here talking about, well, first off, we don't have to, we'll have to call you, okay, because we won't answer your phone call. If you come here and talk about baseball, I'd rather talk about yard darts, water polo, Tennessee Tech swimming team, cricket. cornhole.
I seen a real good game of checkers one time. I would talk about more than baseball. I saw a
IndyCar,
NASCAR,
stock car.
Yeah, stock car.
Midget porn.
Calculus.
Is that a sport?
Yeah, I think so.
No, midget porn. I know calculus is.
Circle drawing.
What?
Drawing.
I didn't think you were going there with that. So many more activities.
Yeah.
That deserve a spot on the One Lane Road podcast.
My brother-in-law would talk to you about some baseball. He's an Atlanta Braves fan.
But we have yard darts to talk about.
Yeah. Well,
water polo. Cricket.
Pencil sharpening.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about Aaron Judge though. I know.
No, we were done at 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I'm done with it then.
We can't talk about my wife. We're talking about calling crayons crowns. We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers ever on this show again.
Anyway, well, I've got to get off here.
Well, Lucas said we had nothing to talk about.
I got to go. I said we didn't have anything to talk about. And we're still talking an hour and 21 minutes in.
What's this thing? This is our longest one back.
Yeah, longest one back.
And we had nothing to talk about.
Yeah, we'll call this one Shane Keith probably. And
we're not gonna.
That guy's got bullheaded clout.
We're not going to give Shane Keith the title when he was just on here 6 minutes 22 seconds.
No, I don't know. We'll have to think on this one. Anyway, everybody, thanks for listening.
See you next week, or talk to you next week because we won't see you ever.
I don't know who you are.
Bye.
Bye.